Employees of the police service are more likely than most people to encounter a critical incident. These situations are nearly always unexpected and often highly charged with emotion. An horrific scene, a tragic event, an intense threat to a person's physical health or integrity. When placed in such a position, anybody, police officer or not, is likely to suffer some sort of emotional effect. It's only natural and all part of being human. It's not a weakness on anybody's part, but if left unchecked, it could destroy that person's ability to cope emotionally, leading to further stress-related illness and problems at home. Today, many of these symptoms can be overcome before they are even noticed. Diffusing is the term used for a technique that gives people an outlet to help stabilise their feelings about a particular incident.
We choose not to use the word counselling. Diffusing is something quite separate from counselling. Diffusing can be very effective in enabling individuals to be aware of what is likely to happen, how they're likely to react after a critical incident, and by being aware they can make conscious decisions about how they manage that. So a lot of suffering, both for individuals and also their families, can be reduced as a result.
A diffusing meeting lasts for about 15 minutes. It should be held as soon as possible, certainly before anybody goes home, and with a post-incident colleague supporter. There are now over 100 post-incident colleague supporters throughout the force, and they are all on OIS. Many of them are police officers of various ranks, but there are also PICs who are civilians, traffic wardens and specials. All PICs have volunteered their services and been specifically trained to help those who may suffer from the effects of a traumatic incident. In some cases, it's important to bring in an outsider to run the diffusing meeting. That way they have no preconceived ideas about the person or situation. During the meeting, the PIC will address the 3 Fs: facts, feelings and future. The facts are simply the context of the incident. What were you doing before? What happened? What part did you take? Discussing feelings takes up most of the meeting and addresses any sense of anger, frustration, relief or pride the person may have. It also covers anything that stands out in the person's mind that could trigger a reaction at any time in the future. The future issues are for the PIC to consider, establishing what the person's immediate plans are and what support they may or may not have at home.
The benefit of being diffused is relief at the time. It takes a load off your mind and it allows you to put the incident into perspective. I can remember one particularly horrific incident I dealt with where I wasn't diffused afterwards and I suffered, and it was everything from headaches to not sleeping very well to arguing with my family. It's much better to have it there to try and benefit the 1 or 2 who may be suffering rather than to not have it there and perhaps miss the person who does need help.
It's the responsibility of supervisors to recognise when diffusing is needed. Although it isn't always easy, every effort should be made to consider the well-being of the people involved.
The necessity for us to take this potential very seriously and try and deal with anything at an early stage that may be troubling to the officer is very important. The vast majority of supervisors will consider that as one of their primary responsibilities anyway. All of us could be in that position, and I think all of us would expect that type of reaction from our colleagues of whatever rank.
Police officers shouldn't shy away from diffusing. We expect people to be affected by these incidents. In fact, in my opinion, police officers can actually be better police officers as a result of going through this process, because it helps them to manage things far more effectively and to be more aware of how it affects them in the future.